Hey everybody, welcome back to Minor Stuff. I'm Matt.
I'm Pat,
and we're the Minor Brothers. Today we're doing our griddle accessories for the Blackstone. Let's get into it.
Alright, welcome back everybody. Before we get started going over what you need for accessories on the Blackstone griddle and also what you don't need, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, drop some comments down below if you have other ideas of stuff you need, or if you disagree with us on some of the stuff that we say you need and you don't. And also check out our description. Most of this stuff we're going to have linked in our description. We're an Amazon affiliate. Amazon has to share some of their profits with us, and it doesn't cost you anything more. Just helps us keep this channel going and keep growing it up. So Matt, let's start off. What are we drinking today first?
Good old Buffalo Trace. Easy sipper. Throw it on the rocks. It's absolutely delicious.
Oh, love it. That's what got me into bourbon.
Yep. And so very first thing, you'll need some sort of cutting board. No matter what it is, you don't have to spend a lot of money on a cutting board, but you're going to need something because you're going to have to do cutting. And when you do cutting, you're going to need some sort of knife. So we have the Blackstone knife here. We also have a Dalstrong blade, depending on what we're cutting. But we do end up having a lot of knives around. Also, we have different knives for different types of meat. So if we're going to be, slicing through a brisket, that will be different. If we're prepping a pork butt, we'll have a different knife for that. So it's a good thing to have a good set of knives around. It's something that's worth spending some money on and getting a good set of knives.
Good set, and get one that looks cool too, because you break out that Dalstrong and everybody's like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah. So this is a must-have, right?
That is a must-have. People make a mistake, and I was one of them. I didn't realize it until I was trying to clean the grease trap out, and I'm like, this sucks. And you said, why don't you just change your liner? And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yep. This is one of the cheapest things out there, and it is one of the best things that you can do for your Blackstone. Let it fill up, just pull it out, throw it out, put a new one in.
Make your life so much easier.
No mess, no hassle.
Let's get to cleaning the Blackstone. So now, most people, you buy the starter kit when you get a griddle.
You get that cheap little...
You get that little teeny cheap thing, and you're down there. And
we already threw ours out, in case you're wondering why we don't have one to show you.
You hit some oil, it splashes up, you burn your hands. It's just a pain in the ass. So what do we like to use?
This was the original go-to. It's more of the restaurant style, so you can just really scrape it down. But now that Blackstone has released this one, I think this is pretty much all we use now.
That's our go-to. Plus, it's great because we can also use that when we're in with meats, and you can use it to help cut up and pull apart meats and shred some meats and stuff.
Cheesesteaks, pastrami, all that type of stuff. We use it for pretty much everything.
And just because we love the Blackstone, they just came out with this griddle cleaner. I haven't used it yet, haven't tried it yet, but something I'm gonna give a little chance to. We'll see if it works out, if it's worth the money or not.
And another thing that you absolutely should have or need to have is some sort of thermometer, meat probe. This one does IR, so you can just put it down at the grill, find out what your temperatures are, and then when you want to make sure your meat's cooked enough, it's got the probe on it too. You don't have to go Blackstone with it. We did with ours just because of the dual functions with it, and it was there when we were buying some other stuff at Walmart. Most of the stuff can also be bought at Walmart, and it was cheap. But
use our link instead down below in the description.
It's cheap though. It works great. It's something awesome. It's a must-have.
So, and I'm going to build off of that, Matt. So, we have our fry scoop here. This ties into the fry scoop because for us, we use a nice big cast iron, put some oil in this, put this right on top of the griddle. This is what we'll be doing, like our chicken fried brisket and all the other yummy stuff we have coming for you guys. Got to measure the temperature of that oil, make sure it's hot enough before you start putting stuff in it. So that's another good reason to have one of these. But then you need to get that stuff out of there somehow. So Blackstone makes this fantastic scoop, drains the oil out, works out great for us. We love it.
I mean, you can use tongs too, but honestly,
you could risk pulling apart some of your breading, some of your other stuff as you
which
pull
we've
it
done
out.
when we did the chicken fried brisket. We pulled some apart, which we'll be doing a video on that this summer too.
Yep.
But this works when we use both. This one it works so much better for us.
Go in underneath, scoop it, pull it out, drop it over some paper towels. Fantastic.
You're doing, homemade fried mozzarella sticks or fried Oreos or whatever. It's so much easier with a scoop.
And now that will come in a kit that Blackstone makes with some tongs as well. you might as well, because you can use a spatula for the bacon and stuff like that, but a lot of stuff you're going to use tongs for. It comes together. It's a great little kit. It's definitely worth the money. Next thing getting into, we talk about spatulas. We got some spatulas here. Now, as they get longer, they get thinner.
That's what she said?
You see the size difference in them all?
I prefer, this is the Blackstone Signature Series. I like the way the handle feels. It's a little bit hevier. Some of the
heavier duty.
Some of the other cheap ones, yeah, you bend them, especially if you're going under a smash burger, and I have a tendency to push down a little too hard. But you do bend them.
And these also have the beveled, sharpened edges, so when you're really getting in there, getting the crust, that's another thing that these are also great for.
Yep. All right, Matt. Let's come up to our first probably do not buy.
It was a waste of money. I bought it because I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll make sure that I don't make a mess on my Blackstone. And you know what? I just don't use it. I just use paper towels instead. Save the money, use the paper towels.
Well, you know what? And again, this depends on the Blackstone you have. If I have my camping one, I might use this for camping. But a lot of times,
now they're coming with the hooks
what
on
you
them.
end up doing is you sit your spatula right on the griddle. Or they also make a nice little handy side attachment piece. You can put it right there on the side.
And that's so much better than that mat. I bought the mat. I used it once. I was like, just got messy.
And we're throwing it out. So, next thing got in line over here, we got some egg rings. So,
two versions.
Two different kinds. You get the cheap rubbery ones, and you got the nice Blackstone solid ones. So these are hard plastic. They don't move. When I put this on the grill, everything comes out around the side of it. It doesn't hold it in place. I absolutely hate them. They're garbage. The Blackstone one holds it. There might be a little bit of pour off because, again, your steel isn't going to be perfectly flat.
Yep.
But so far, much better. Much easier to clean.
Worth spending the extra money to get a good set.
Yeah, definitely get a good set. So don't waste your money on the cheap, flimsy rubber. It's not worth it.
Not worth it. Next thing that's really not worth it. I saw this thing and I was like, this is from Cuisine Art, and I was like, you know what? This is cool because all you do is you fill it with butter and put it on the griddle. It heats up, it melts. You just roll the toast on it or whatever.
I think you were more excited to get this than you were the first time you had ice cream. And
I was excited, and it was a letdown. You know why? It takes multiple sticks of butter.
And it didn't cover them that well.
It didn't, no, because it wasn't high enough. You really have to get the butter level. When it's melted, you have to get it high enough so the bottom doesn't sit actually on the bottom.
Yeah.
So I ended up using two and a half sticks of butter for something that would have been less than a half stick of butter had I just taken it and spread it out. And I was like, that's great. So I used it that one time. It sat underneath my grill, never been touched again until we brought it out for this video. So if you're doing a ton of cooks for a ton of people and you don't mind, having a little bit of waste or whatever, this would work awesome because you can just, slather butter, go. But honestly, unless you're doing that all the time, save your money. It's not worth buying this, not at all.
And again, cast iron pan, really great thing to have. Make sure if you're doing this to fry with, you get the deep one. So this is a nice deep one.
And we have them for other things too. We have a little smaller one. We're going to be doing like nachos or something. You can throw this on the Blackstone. It will keep it nice and warm. And then you build right in here. Nice thing is you take it out. It's still warm. Throw it down. You can do that with a ton of stuff.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Bottles. Now,
must have.
You have to have bottles. Now, do you want to go and spend $20 on the Blackstone ones? You can. 97 cents from Walmart, and I got a ton of them, and I still have money in my pocket to go buy lottery tickets with, as opposed to wasting money on the expensive ones. You're going to need oil. You're going to need water. Those are the two most common ones for. Some people have different types of oil. You can put dressings and other stuff that you want in there as well.
Yeah, depending on what your cook is going to be.
Yep. So, you're doing some fried rice or something. You got some soy sauce, teriyaki. You can put it in there if you don't want to leave it in the bottle. So, must have plenty of bottles.
And it's always good to have extra because if you get these, you leave them too close to the griddle, they will melt. So they're cheap. Buy a couple extra. They're worth it.
Paper towels.
Must have a lot of them.
A ton. Just just
You're gonna use them. Keep them close to the grill.
Buy stock in Bounty. All right, getting to what we have on the grill. We have a warming tray. This is an expandable warming tray. This is the Blackstone version. I like this one really good because it is closed off a lot on the top with just small slits. So nothing's going to really fall through there.
But it's low enough that it actually keeps it close to the griddle, whereas the other one mounts like sort of above it, and it's higher. It's still going to warm. It's just not going to warm as well as this.
It's not going to warm as well, yeah, definitely. And you can put other stuff on this that you don't want if if the openings are a little bit bigger, you're worried about it kind of falling through, and as you're pulling it off, breaking apart. Basting lid. So all types of basting lids out there. We bought the big one. They make small circle ones. A basting lid's a basting lid, really. There's no.
You can use a lid off of a pot pan you already have at your house, depending on how big of stuff you're doing.
I bought the big one just because it goes front to back on the grill, and I can do more stuff under it that way. It makes it easier for us when we do big cooks.
Works really good, yeah.
Yep. Taco rack. So very nice, something to have if you're doing something for the family, because you can put them in here, carry them, bring them to the table, bring them inside. You don't have to worry about them falling apart.
It's nice too because the grill's going to be hot. It's going to keep your shells a little warm, help melt the cheese a little bit more. Just those little things, which are always great.
And then, a must-have.
A must.
Big press. So
I would go one further in saying a flat press.
Yes.
So if you get the burger kit, it's going to come with a lip, and you're not going to get a real smash out of it. This is good. You want bacon, throw it on top of the bacon. It will keep it from curling. You're doing smash burgers. This will basically be more functional than one of those other presses.
Definitely. And you can check out our smash burger video right up above here. Click that little link thingy, and you'll see you can squeeze these things really down and get them really, really thin.
Yeah, and it's nice because that's multi-purpose. And you don't have to get this huge one. They make them that are like half the size. You know what I mean? There's things that will suit your needs depending on who you're cooking for. You could have a bigger family. I got 3 kids. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of food going down when we're cooking. It's nice having the bigger stuff. But if you're just, cooking for you and somebody else, you can get the smaller stuff. You can get stuff that works for you. You don't have to get all this stuff. These are just what works best for us.
Yeah.
It's also another good thing to have. Your side tables aren't big enough. Have some sort of bigger table, fold-up table, something with trays, because these cooks go fast. So when you're cooking, you want to be able to be.
You need to have all your ingredients out there. You
set
can't
up,
be running back and forth to the kitchen. Yeah. No time to run back and forth to the kitchen. So, you don't obviously need to have a monstrous table like we built here in front of us. You don't need to spend a bunch of money and get the Blackstone prep cart like I have behind us.
It's a cool cart. It's got tons of drawers, so we can, we have extra egg rings.
I keep a bunch of stuff that we need in there, and it's fantastic.
These spins you can fill with stuff. Have a ton of stuff right here, but it was a lot of money. And do we use it as much as if we were doing this? Probably not as much. No. At my own house, I just have a fold-up table that I do right next to the Blackstone, just so every time I cook, it's there. When I don't, I fold it up. It's out of the way.
Yep.
So that's what we came up with for stuff for the Blackstone for griddle accessories. Let us know if there's anything else that you think we missed and you found something cool, because we're always looking for new stuff.
Yep.
And if you find something cool, throw it down in the comments below. We'll take a look at it, check it out.
Definitely. And please check out our Amazon links down below. Help us out. Take a little bit of money out of Amazon's pocket. Help share it with us poor folk as well. So
until then, keep following us along for other man shit, and hope you all have a nice day.